Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. We are excited to have our friends over from Simply Bliss Med Spa. That's right, simplyblissmedspa.com. And we're excited to talk more about this amazing med spa and wellness. There's a lot that goes on here, from the treatments behind the scenes. And I know as an owner, Amy Hunt here has a vision for many years. And for the past few years, she's really kicked off and is doing so much more than, spa services. It's wellness. It's everything. We're going to talk about procedures, injectables. We're going to talk about healing and, anti-aging from the outside in, or the inside out, I should say, right? With Missy. So first and foremost, welcome back to the show, ladies. How are you?
We're good. Thank you.
Great. Well, please introduce yourself. Thank you. Please introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers today.
Okay, so I'm Amy Hunt. I'm an RN. I own Simply Bliss Med Spa and Wellness. I've owned it for 5 years, and I'm an injector first and foremost, as well as just an medical aesthetics nurse. And
my name is Missy Ritonya, and I'm the nurse practitioner here at Simply Bliss. And I do everything from injectables with Amy, but also my focus is on hormones and wellness, functional medicine, and using different peptides other than traditional medicines to help heal people.
Beautiful. And how can we reach you all? Could you share the address, the website, and we'll get started.
It's simplyblissmedspa.com. Our address, we're in Omaha, Nebraska, which is 119th and Pacific, 11902 Pierce Plaza. And they can contact us at contact@simplyblissmedspa.com.
Beautiful. And I know, we had a great conversation last time. It was a few weeks ago. So I got to know you both and a little bit about what you do. And just for our new timers today, just want to let you know that you're just amazing. You're helping so many people, and it's about feeling good, and it's about boosting our self-esteem and helping, people find their happiness or bliss, as you say, right?
Yeah.
So where did you want to start for today? Did you want to kind of talk about some procedures versus, where did you want to begin?
Sure. So, people come to us, and maybe they're not so interested in necessarily having injectables, meaning using neurotoxins like Botox and Dysport, Daxi, or dermal fillers. And so we offer, I actually made a thing called boot camp about 10 years ago. And I've been providing boot camps every fall and every winter for about the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. And what that is, that's, we do a combination of microneedling or radio frequency microneedling, chemical peels, and or pico treatments with a laser. And then we do custom facials or hydrofacials with that. But the big thing we do with that is we introduce people to medical grade skincare, which I'm very much a proponent of medical grade skincare. And so we call that boot camp. It's 19 weeks. I named it boot camp because with your skin, I'm going to tear your skin down and I'm going to build it back up, just kind of like we do with a soldier going into boot camp. Yeah. It's very regimented. It's very, it takes 19 weeks to do it. And so for some people who aren't ready to jump in necessarily to injectables and fillers, then I offer them that. And then they get a little taste of 3 different procedures that we do, as well as what it's like to do a medical grade skincare routine, which some people are like, I don't know, I don't want to do 8 steps. And I can get people into what it's really like if you really take good care of your skin and use good products, as well as us, coming in every 3 weeks. They come in and then they're with us 3 weeks in a row, and then they have 3 weeks off. It's just about really owning your skin. And so it's been great. We have a great response to that. And it's at that time that generally if we're talking, we get them in our bed for an hour. So we get to talk to them about all sorts of things skin wise. And this is when things start coming up. Like,
so one of the things, beauty comes from within. And so we're helping them create the health from within their body to make their skin look great. So Amy's taking care of all of the outside skin. And when we start talking about, okay, what else is going on? What can we do to help with that aging process? Then they come to me, we draw labs, and we're looking for things like protein levels. How much protein are you getting throughout the day? What is your hemoglobin A1C? So hemoglobin A1C will tell us if there's risk factors for insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes. That's important because that causes whole body inflammation. And so we're looking from the inside, what's healthy, what's going on. But it also is going to help if you have whole body inflammation. You're also going to start losing things like collagen and elasticity of your skin a lot faster. Yep. And so we can be doing all of these things like boot camp, but if we're not addressing the root cause of the aging, then we're really not going to see the outcome, as good of an outcome as we could if we're addressing everything from the inside out.
Got it. And let me ask, so the process for that, so I guess, were we coming into you for blood work? Is that how we're going to figure out what's going on inside?
Yep, absolutely. So they come in, they do labs with us. We do a whole comprehensive lab panel that's looking at those inflammatory markers. We're looking at a hemoglobin A1C. We're looking at B12, vitamin D. We're looking at all of their hormones, including DHEA. We're looking at thyroid. And what we do is we really drill down not to looking at, okay, are they within the lab range? Okay, but are they within the optimal range for your age and for, male or female, and to make sure that you are feeling the greatest based on where your lab ranges should be, not what the lab tells us they should be for your age.
God.
Meaning we optimally balance men and women to feel their best, kind of where people are in their 20s. Generally, that's kind of where we try to balance people to when we're talking about hormone balancing and thyroid. What else?
Yeah. And so a lot of times when you go to the doctor and they draw labs and you say, I'm not feeling great, they'll draw labs and they're like, oh, your labs look fine. You're fine. They're looking at it through the range of what the expected lab values should be based on your age. Not based on, So, and male and female is different. And so based on your age, so really what they're looking at is if you're a 50-year-old woman coming in and your testosterone is, let's say, a 13, the range for a female testosterone can go down to 0. Mm-hmm. And so you're not 0, so you're fine. Everything looks great. Where we know most females don't feel good until their testosterone is at least at 70 or 100 or even above that. So we're looking at optimal ranges where we know most people feel the best, not because of age-based.
Wow. Got it. That's amazing because you're seeing like inside, it reminds me of, I remember, and I'm not sure if you guys remember this. I apologize if it's wrong, but I remember like 20 years ago, I put my face inside something and they still do it today. And it takes a picture and it shows all that like spots and sun damage and all that stuff. Right. And then the goal is obviously to start fixing yourself and, to make it look better over the years. And I did it after doing some treatments and I looked great. It was Vizzy.
Vizia. Vizia.
Is that still exist?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, it really shows that, what you don't see, what you think you're good. It's like, oh my gosh, I have all that sun damage. It doesn't look it. Well, you do, because if you were in your 20s, and you laid out in the sun, you're going to have all this damage. But anyway, it was just that's how you could see the difference. But it's hard to see inside is what I'm getting at. And this is fascinating to be able to look on paper at your hormones, your blood levels compared to others, obviously in the same age range. That is amazing because that says so much. And I don't think people did this back in the day. I haven't.
Oh, you usually don't put the two together, and that's what makes this whole partnership very unique.
Very unique.
Yeah, we're trying to fix everything from within to make you feel your best and look your best at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So a woman may come in and she just can't put her finger on it. She's just not feeling so good. What happened to my skin? I think everybody out there my age. You're how old?
45.
45. I'm
46.
57. So at 40, people come in and they're like, okay, what happened? Like all of a sudden something, what has happened? And we know that it's in our 40s that we're starting into perimenopause. Some people are almost full blown into that. And so, it's really sad. And you hear it all the time that a woman will go to her doctor, she waits, she gets in, they draw the labs and they come back and they look at her and they say, you're fine. No, really, you're fine. And she's not fine. She doesn't feel well. And so I get a lot of that. Being an injector, it's kind of like a hairstylist. You get to know your people. You get into some intimate conversations. And so women, I have mostly women, but I mean, probably 85%. They will start telling you things and you can see it in the skin. You can see it. And so it's just such a nice way to be able to say, why don't we draw your labs today? Let's just get a look and see what's going on. It's also, boot camp's so nice because we get all this extra pigment during the summer.
Yes.
But what I've learned, I was just in Nashville. I just did a nice training a couple weeks ago. I was in Nashville with the Revance company.
Oh, nice.
And they were talking a lot about why is it that we get all the sun damage when we're younger, but we don't start seeing it until, 40s, 50s and up. And it's because our skin thins. So all those brown spots that we start seeing, they're always there. But as the skin begins to thin out, which is caused from lower estrogen, lower testosterone, just aging
poor
skin,
diet, environmental factors.
Yes. Then it's like, where did all these dots come from? I swear to God, I use sunscreen every day.
Yeah.
I wear hats when I go out, and it's like that is old stuff that now is coming to the surface that we are working on. So, I mean, it is pretty amazing, and I feel like about 40 is kind of the golden number that most people come in, and men can be a lot less than that as far as not feeling well. So we do have a pretty nice male population. Missy more than I do, and so maybe Missy can talk a little bit about how the age that men start coming in and going, what is going on? I just have no energy. I'm not,
Yeah, I probably have about 50% of my population are males. And it's usually about late 30s, early 40s where they notice like energy isn't there or libido is down or they start to get weight gain in their mid-abdominal section and they just don't feel as good as they did. Workouts aren't as good as they used to be. And even when they go to the gym, they're not seeing the gains that they used to and can't really put a finger on it. But when they go to their doctor to have labs drawn again, everything comes back as being normal. But yet they still know something's off.
And feel horrible.
All of those things, maybe it's their vitamin B level very low. Maybe they have really low vitamin D. All of that plays a role in mental health and energy. And so we start digging and there's a lot of things that we can find. And even with males who their testosterone is on the still normal, but on the lower side of normal, we have peptides that we can use that can naturally boost their testosterone without having to do testosterone replacement. And I've had guys come in the 400 ranges for testosterone. And on these peptides, I can get them up into the 800 and 900s naturally. And they feel amazing. And so it's just those little changes, or even looking at thyroid in a different way to optimize the functioning of their thyroid, that helps with metabolism. And so if their T3 is on the low side of normal, then we can boost that up. And that's going to help with energy, fatigue, brain fog. So it's just really dialing into labs and making their treatment plan very specific for them.
Awesome. Ooh, I want to know more about this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, you're frozen? I'm like, okay, good. Well, let's remind everyone, Amy, Missy, how we can reach out to you. Would you mind just sharing the website once again before we continue?
Yep. So we have two ways to contact us via email, info@simplyblissmedspa.com or contact at simplyblissmedspa.com.
All right.
Once they go through that, then we call them or we can reach out to them and get them to target it into whoever's going to do their service.
And let me just ask, so what about expense wise? Does insurance cover some of this on the medical side of drawing the labs, anything like that, or is it still all out of pocket? I'm not sure how our medical system has handled this combining, right? I'm sure it's been a challenge. They should cover everything, but go ahead.
We've done both. We've tried to run it through insurance, but what we have found is that it's actually cheaper for us and the patient to pay cash than trying to run things through insurance. Wow. And then we don't get pushback. Insurance has been hard with even things as simple as just getting a vitamin D level approved. And so we just have people pay out of pocket. And for a whole complete lab panel, it's $390. So it's actually pretty reasonable to have that entire comprehensive.
Oh, absolutely. All right, good to know. Good to know. And just curious, do you offer any finance packages there at the med spa? Do you know some people do that, financial plans, or they have credit cards or loans through the med spa itself to make things affordable?
So we do. We offer. Okay, so first of all, we have an in-house membership, and that's an amount that people decide on to be drawn out of their account, which kind of just is a savings bank here, ready for them to use that. So we have a lot of people in membership. We do some of our own financing in-house, and then we also use a company called Privy, which they can get financing for.
Awesome. Well,
there's other ones out there like Allergan, who makes Botox and Juvederm. They have their own financing through their rewards program site called Elite. So people can get financing about it anywhere.
Lots of ways that we can help. There's even certain things that you can pay monthly to come in to kind of break up the payments for. So there's lots of ways that we can get things more affordable for everybody if that's what they're
And I just like it for the holidays. This is the time I think people start coming in, right? Because it's their downtime. Most of us that are not in the sun all the time, right? It's not like we're in Hawaii, but it depends. But no, it's the best time of the year to start. And that's why I always love the gift of giving gift cards and ask your special loved one what they want. And a lot of for us ladies, I believe it's these type of treatments. It's the self-care. We want to look and feel better. So,
and we always here at Bliss, since we opened, December is gift card month and you get 10% back. So we're adding that on. So that's been one of our gifts. This year, we're going to do 12 days of Christmas starting, I think, on the 3rd, whatever the Monday is on that. So we'll have a special every day of the week for that. And we most of the time, we're also putting together little travel packs of Alaskan skincare with all the different travel ones. We're offering those out as stocking stuffers, or people like to grab that stuff because they're going to take a trip to Mexico or they're going to take a trip out. And we want to make sure that they're continuing their skincare and for sure using their sunscreen and their big hats and their big glasses and not undoing any of the treatments that we've been doing since fall started. But we have a great thing. And then we have a laser that we are obsessed with.
What is it called? What type? What is it?
So
it's made by a company called Lutronic. It's a Laze MD Ultra Plus. And so what it is it's attracted to water versus the melanin in your skin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's a laser that you can use pretty much year round. And you don't have to be out of the sun in order to use it. But it's an amazing laser that goes after pigmentation. So darker, hyperpigmented areas of the skin. So when you've been out in the sun and you have the little darkening from the sun, but it also goes after fine lines and wrinkles. Okay. It's going to be pore size to make them smaller. It goes after deeper to go after the collagen and elastin to make your skin thicker, stronger. So those deeper wrinkles are what we're attracting to. You can actually go over the eyelid to help eyelid tightening, under the eyes for under the eye tightening. We've been doing a lot necks, décolletés, pretty much anywhere where the sun hits, you can use this laser.
We have a gal doing our arms too.
For collagen stimulating. It's pigment. It's amazing. We've been pairing it with Sculptra. So Sculptra is a biostimulator that helps your own body stimulate new collagen and elastin. And so you can use the Lay's MD either prior to or afterwards to help continue to stimulate that collagen production.
Ooh, it's all about the collagen. Let me just ask a question, right, with the nurse and the nurse practitioner. Can you take a pill for they sell them like for collagen? Does that really help?
It does. We have really amazing collagen powder that we actually recommend for almost every patient in here. It's called Whole Body Collagen Powder. It's made by Designs for Health. Designs for Health is one of our primary supplement companies that we use for all of the supplements that we recommend, because they are very research driven and research based on all of the supplements that they offer. But what makes the whole body collagen one of the best ones out there on the market is that it actually goes after it has 4 different types of collagen in it. And you need all 4 of those collagens to see the benefit of the collagen.
So not all collagen powders are alike, and there's a lot of imposters out there. We just know that this one works, and
you see the best benefit. So it's going to not only be good for hair, skin, and nails, but it's also going to help with joints, tendons, even muscles. And so for people who have either had surgery, going to have surgery, it's a must to help with recovery.
And it's got 11 grams of protein. So there you go.
Oh, nice. Liking that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. It's unflavored, so you could add it to whatever you want. It's by far the best collagen out there.
Definitely.
So to answer your questions, yes, collagen is great. It does depend on the type of collagen that you are getting. I always tell people you get what you pay for. So if you're going to places like Walgreens or Target, those are not good quality. You want to make sure that you are getting, pharmaceutical grade collagen powders, because quality matters.
Amazing.
Yes, definitely. So you're going to pay $30 for something maybe not so great, and I think ours retails around $50.
Yeah,
and that's 30-day supply. So, I don't know, doing the math with that, but yeah, we definitely are all about a good collagen powder, but they're not all the same, and you definitely, a
good one.
We have a great one, and all of the Designs for Health. So a lot of times, Missy will, after she reads a blood test on somebody, it's not necessarily something that we're always going to use a prescription or a hormone or something like that. A lot of times it will just be a supplement. And we love Designs for Health because we can get very specific in things that we want, or pull out and have multiple.
You can basically create a specific plan tailored to the patient and based on their needs specifically.
And so we also offer through that company, we can do a DNA, right?
Genetic
testing.
Wow.
Medical testing and
stool testing,
looking
at gut health. Yeah. It's very cool.
They say the microbiome, right? Everyone's doing, everything's about the stomach and the probiotics. And, wow, this is so cool. So we have to come in. We have to come to you. Tell us how we can contact you. And obviously, if someone wants to come in, this is exciting stuff. SimplyBlissMedSpa.com is the website. And unfortunately, we're out of time. I know we got a little bit of a late start there. But how did you want? That's okay. How did you want to kind of end off for today, ladies?
So through the website, they can contact us right on the website. If they get on there, there's we have a chat in there that they can get through and contact, or they can also send an email for that. And we can work with people all over the country. Generally, most of the time, at least we can get started with that. So we're very happy to talk to anybody about basically anything.
Perfect.
Our phone number is 402-502-9868. But just hop on our website, simplyblissmedspa.com. We're also on Insta and Facebook.
Perfect.
And so grateful to help people.
Thank you for you guys as well. Thanks for being here and always sharing some great conversation. And hopefully we'll chat again soon. If we don't speak, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with your family, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, you know? I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.